Greetings. It is with great pleasure that I am able to have an opportunity to introduce myself and my favorite tried and true tutoring techniques to you on this video. Now, keep in mind that the greatest benefit to you comes out of intensive video chat or in-person interaction with me. In these interactions, you will ask me questions and I will offer you answers. When the dynamic is going well and I see that you are getting comfortable with the material, I reverse the format and ask you questions so that you can demonstrate knowledge of the topic at hand and, in essence, teach me the math problem, the physics concept, the grammar principle, or the historical fact. This way, we gain knowledge together and eventually getting to a point where you can solve the problems on your own, we are able to have success. Another way in which we will learn is by doing the same problem together, you on your end of the video chat, me on my end, and comparing answers at the very end. In a sense, for this exercise, we are simply completing the same problem at the same time and comparing answers to make sure that you understand the principle as well as the method for solving the problem. Of course, there is always a lot of room for creativity and flexibility in how you approach and solve a problem. Your perspective in this regard is of the utmost importance because once you are able to coin your own approach to a problem, not only will you feel more at ease solving problems, but you will gain a greater percentage of them right. As for how you and I communicate over video chat, sometimes we use the screen to show each other our answers and process. Other times, I pull up the whiteboard and teach a problem on my side so that you can have a clearer example of how to solve it. So to clarify again, your greatest learning comes from direct interaction with me rather than me talking to you in a one-sided manner or me trying to teach you in a strictly didactic or top-down way. In addition, the more you participate, the more you will learn. Results from previous students has been tremendous. One student in Palo Alto, California, studied physics with me and could not answer the majority of her problems in the beginning. However, after 1 or 2 sessions, she caught on to the principles, mostly because we did not work in a pressured environment, but rather I let her work at her own pace, comparing her answers to mine as she completed them. Her grades went up steadily, and by the end of the semester she could perform independently on her homework and get most of them right. Another student living in Maryland worked diligently, but in her own unique way, in conversation with my methods. She worked on kinematics or motion, Newton's 3 laws, especially the third law, or F equals ma, force is equal to mass times acceleration, the force equations involving weight, mass times gravity, tension, for example, a rope pulling a block up a ramp, normal force and friction, and then energy, potential energy, kinetic energy, and spring energy. Also power, or work over time, circular motion, circuits, sound, wavelengths and frequencies, etc., etc. She went from 20s and 30s on her test to 80s and 90s. Her confidence went up, and by the end of the semester, she didn't even need me. Another success story is my student from South Carolina who struggled with her English essays in the beginning, achieving 70s on them, whereas by the end of our sessions together, she achieved a 90 on her AP English exam. She was incredibly happy and very grateful. I am grateful for all of my students too, including the last one I will tell you about, my student from Boston, an African American female who was taking physics as a freshman in high school. She was initially daunted by the task of working on these problems, but I slowly introduced my methods of working together, sharing answers, comparing ways of arriving at the same answer, and most of all, going slow enough in the beginning to catch the fire, I say, or to let the problem sink in enough and become familiar enough to become doable rapidly. She was an astounding worker, and by the end of our time together after a semester, she had total confidence in her ability to do physics, and it showed on her exams. With this example and all of the ones above, the goal is not to keep a student on forever, but to graduate them to the next level so that they can be independent, you in particular, potential student, from me and any extra help from the outside. We'll start out together in our tutoring sessions, and we will not really lose this togetherness in the end, but you will become a wholly independent thinker and learner. This is the greatest gift any teacher can or tutor can hope to impart to her students. And this is the gift I promise to bestow upon you. Sign up now to get ready, get set, and go!